Siapati Ramachandra ki jai. Members of the bereaved family, brothers and sisters, friends and well-wishers, today we have been blessed to come to lend our shoulders of support to another bereaved family. Whenever I think about the home, this home, and all the sisters' home in Plum Mitan, so we leave out Kaulisa and Aranguez, but who live inside here, I view all the houses as this one big family. And since I know this family, and by extension, all the close people to me here, they always live like one family. Even today, the environment and the energy is a little bit different. But I remember in the early days, you come here and they're having a prayers, them fellas get together and you show 100 pounds of flour need. That's how, and about 3 palmistry that they lick down. But the thing about it is that this family has always been very close-knit. This village, Plum Mitan, has always been also close-knit. Okay, so today we have come to lend this shoulder of support to this family. When I saw the old lady on the wheelchair earlier, okay, I was thinking about his father. And for those of you who might be older than me, which might be 1 or 2 people here, we know that when somebody is going to die and they get a chance to enjoy the last moments of their life, somebody in your relatives who has already passed on will come to help you with those moments. And which one of the family was there, the last moment? Only you to answer, nobody else. Who? Which one of the deceased relatives was there in the nursing home and here now? Oh Lord, oh, I asked the wrong one. Yeah, you will say Nana, yes. So, he was fortunate that his deceased father was the one to come to escort him in this transition. And all of us, Hindu or not, there is somebody waiting for you. In Hindu rites, when we do Pinda Dan, there's always the one who's going to come for me and for you and for everybody else, gets a seat, the 8th position on that bedi for Pinda Dan. That's why after today or for the next couple of days we'll be offering Tilanjali. But when Pitch comes, the 15 days before, the second Navratri, we dedicate that to the Pitras, deceased ancestors, making connections. Shorten it was my hand. So we do offer Pitra Dan for Pitapaksh to maintain that connection. Okay? I know a lot of Plum Mitan people migrated and live all over the place. Assuming one of them was living in Paris or Germany, and somebody from here getting an opportunity to go, the first thing you find out, who we know in Paris, who we know in Germany, because when you reach over there, the language is different, the signage is different, everything is different. So it's nice to know somebody who would be waiting in the airport and have your name on a piece of card, so as you're walking out immigration, you're seeing your name. It's really nice. Where the soul, and we're talking specifically, the name I am familiar with is Rango. Everybody will so know everything else that you know, but Rango has been my name for him for the longest while. Okay. For the period of time that I know him, I'm not sure whether he was married when we met. I'm definitely sure Alan was not married. Okay. No, at the time when we were friends. And I can't remember ever seeing him in a bad mood. I'm not sure if the children and the neighbors here would know that. Okay, anything different to what I'm saying. But I've never seen him in a bad mood. Even when I quarreled with him, he was always cool. And I will quarrel with him. Most of the times we quarrel. And he used to just watch me and keep a blank face because he probably telling himself, you could talk, you're taking your own. But the most comforting part of him dying, around the time that he died, I was telling somebody, my friend from from Plum Mitan, like he don't want to stay for Hanuman Jayanti. At the same point when this was transitioning at the nursing home, that was the thought that was running through my mind. And then when I hear he didn't call in for his son and his pet daughter, he didn't call in them, he was calling somebody else. Why you watch me so blank like you ain't sure? You're not sure? He was chanting his favorite Om Namah Shivaya. It can't have nothing better than that. Because to die, we must die. Okay? But when somebody dies on the last breath, and you could recite the name of God in that dying moment, there's nothing to worry about. Nothing. You don't even have to do these rites for the body. The rites that we're doing today, it is only for the disposal of the physical remains, not the soul. No matter what we do, we can't handle soul. Okay? So today is just about sending back the elements with proper decorum in this part of the world. Over the last 3 years, many people, sit down, mommy. Look, we have a chair here. Come inside. Come, take it in. Go ahead, look. The individual pastor just now, one of the beacons of the family, the lineage. So, in Sanatana Dharma, we have two parts of a funeral service. One is where we dispose of the physical remains, or what is called prakriti. That's for the funeral day, and then we prepare the soul to leave this house of attachment when we do the bhandara, okay, which is 2-3 days, or between 2 days to 1 lunar month from the shaving ceremony. We have the next part of it. In Trinidad, we used to 13 days, 12 days, and 13 days like that. But you have 1 lunar month to do that first bhandara. Okay? During the process of the rituals here, I would ask those of the young ones who are able to stand. Those of you who are more comfortable sitting down, please remain seated. Okay?
आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला। जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला, आए भी अकेला, जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन का मेला।
जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, इकता कौन ठिकाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। मौज कर देख तमाशा, खूब मौज कर देख तमाशा, खेलने को खेला, करनी है तो कर ले रे बंदे, करनी फिर नहीं आना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। पछताना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, इकता कौन ठिकाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। पिंजरे के पंछी रे, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। बाहर से तो खामोश रहे तू, बाहर से तो खामोश रहे तू, भीतर भीतर रोए रे, ये भीतर भीतर रोए, तेरा दर्द न जाने को। कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे। कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे। विधि ने तेरी कथा लिखी, आंसू में कलम डुबोए, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। चुपके रोने वाले, रखना छिपा के दिल के छाले रे। चुपके रोने वाले, रखना छिपा के दिल के छाले रे। ये पत्थर का देश है पगले, कोई न तेरा होए, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। पिंजरे के पंछी रे, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। पिंजरे के पंछी रे,
लौट के आजा मेरे मीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। लौट के आजा मेरे मीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। मेरा सुना पड़ा रे संगीत, मेरा सुना पड़ा रे संगीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। लौट के आजा मेरे मीत। भली रे निभाई प्रीत, तूने भली रे निभाई प्रीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। आ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत। घड़ी न जाए बीत, ये घड़ी न जाए बीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। आ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। मेरा सुना बड़ा रे संगीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। आ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत। लौट के आजा मेरे मीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। हाँ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। मेरा सुना पड़ा रे संगीत, मेरा सुना पड़ा रे संगीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। हाँ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत। भली रे निभाई प्रीत, तूने भली रे निभाई प्रीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। आ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत। एक पल है हंसना, एक पल है रोना, कैसा है जीवन का खेला। एक पल है हंसना, एक पल है रोना, कैसा है जीवन का खेला। एक पल है मिलना, एक पल बिछड़ना, दुनिया है 2 दिन का मेला। ये घड़ी न जाए बीत, ये घड़ी न जाए बीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। आ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। मेरा सुना बड़ा रे संगीत, मेरा सुना बड़ा रे संगीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। आ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत।
मर्यादा पुरुषोत्तम भगवान श्री रामचंद्र की जय. At this time, I'm going to do a small little bhajan. Jai Shri Ram. Sri Ramachandra Ashrit Parijatah Samast Kalyana Gunabhirama Sita Mukam Guru Chancharikah Nirantaram Mangalam Matnutu. जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम. हे दुख भंजन तुम्ही प्रणाम, हे दुख भंजन तुम्ही प्रणाम. जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम. भात भात को हे परमेश्वर स्नेह तुम्ही से कलाते, नर नारी के प्रेम की ज्योति जग में तुम्ही जलाते. ओ नया से खेवनहारे जपो मैं तुम्हारो नाम. जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम. तुम्ही दया से सागर प्रभु जी, तू ही पालन हारे. चैन तू ही से पाए बेकर मनवा सांझ सकारे. जो भी तुम्हारे आस लगाए बने उसी की काम. जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम. हे दुख भंजन तुम्ही प्रणाम, हे दुख भंजन तुम्ही प्रणाम. जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम, जय रघुनंदन जय सिया राम. प्रेम से बोलो राजा रामचंद्र की जय. राम कृष्ण हरि मुकुंद मुरारी, राम कृष्ण हरि मुकुंद मुरारी. पांडुरंगा पांडुरंगा राम कृष्ण हरि, राम कृष्ण हरि मुकुंद मुरारी. राम कृष्ण हरि मुकुंद मुरारी. पांडुरंगा पांडुरंगा राम कृष्ण हरि, पांडुरंगा पांडुरंगा राम कृष्ण हरि. जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम. श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम. विठ्ठल विठ्ठल पांडुरंगा राम कृष्ण हरि, विठ्ठल विठ्ठल पांडुरंगा राम कृष्ण हरि. विठ्ठल विठ्ठल पांडुरंगा राम कृष्ण हरि, विठ्ठल विठ्ठल पांडुरंगा राम कृष्ण हरि. राम कृष्ण हरि मुकुंद मुरारी, राम कृष्ण हरि मुकुंद मुरारी. पांडुरंगा पांडुरंगा राम कृष्ण हरि, पांडुरंगा पांडुरंगा राम कृष्ण हरि. सीताराम सीताराम सीता वल्लभ सीताराम, सीताराम सीताराम सीता वल्लभ सीताराम. राधे श्याम राधा माधव राधे श्याम, राधे श्याम राधा माधव राधे श्याम. राधा मुकुंद राधे श्याम, राधा गोविंद राधे श्याम. राधा मुकुंद राधे श्याम, राधा गोविंद राधे श्याम. राधा 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 राधे गोविंदा बिंद्राबन गोविंदा कृष्णा मुकुंदा हे नंद नंदना हो नंद नंदना हे नंद नंदना हो नंद नंदना राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा राधे गोविंदा कन्हैया लाल की जय सीताराम जय सीताराम सीताराम जय राधे श्याम सीताराम जय सीताराम सीताराम जय राधे श्याम सीताराम जय सीताराम राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम वीरा हनुमाना अति बलवाना राम राम रसिया रे हे प्रभु मन बसिया रे ओ प्रभु मन बसिया रे राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की राम लक्ष्मण जानकी जय बोलो हनुमान की वीरा हनुमाना अति बलवाना राम राम रसिया रे हे प्रभु मन बसिया रे रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम सीताराम जय सीताराम राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम सीताराम जय सीताराम राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम वीरा हनुमाना अति बलवाना राम राम रसिया रे हे प्रभु मन बसिया रे हो प्रभु मन बसिया रे प्रभु मन बसिया रे पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय
जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो और कोई न केवल हारा हो फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करो जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे विष को भी अमृत कर दे पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा पूर्ण कर दे सबकी आशा जो भी तेरा जान करे फिर जो भी तेरा जान करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय कृष्ण हरे श्री कृष्ण हरे दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे जय 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 कृष्ण हरे May you rest in peace, Mr. Lalla Bissram.
Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Jai Ram Ram Ram. Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana. Rupa Jai Jai Ma Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Ram 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 Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Ram 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 Kula Bala Nanda Kirala Giridhara Gopala Jai Jai Ma Kukula Bala Nanda Kirala Giridhara Gopala Jai Jai Ma Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Ram 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 Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Ram 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 Mata Yashoda Shri Krishna Chandra Ananda Rupa Jai Jai Ma Mata Yashoda Shri Krishna Chandra Ananda Rupa Jai Jai Ma Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Ram 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 Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Ram 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 Krishna Murari Kunja Bihari Paudukari Jai Jai Ma Krishna Murari Kunja Bihari Paudukari Jai Jai Ma Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Ma Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Brahmana Jai Lakshmi Mata Jai Lakshmi Mata Jai Lakshmi Mata Jai Jai Ma Jai Shiva Shankara Jai Shiva Shankara Jai Shiva Shankara Jambola Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Ram Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Hari Narayana Jai Ram Why fail when I am here? Why fail when I am here? So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. Why fail when I am here? Why fail when I am here? All I want is your love, my child. All I want is your faith. All I want is your loving God, no matter what's your fate. All I want is your loving God. All I want is your faith. All I want is your love, your blood, no matter what's your fate. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? The light you see in the dark of night is that golden man. Find the light that is in your heart and reach thy promised land. The light you see in the dark of night is that golden. Find the light that is in your heart and reach thy promised land. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Allah, all came down to this land. All of them brought a message of love, to love your fellow man. Krishna, Buddha, Jesus, Allah, all came down to this land. All of them brought a message of love, to love your fellow man. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. So says Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, my Lord. Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here? Why fear when I am here?
I might have more here than him, but in the family, I have my senior pundit here, Pandit Ram Savak. Optional, talk, dance, or chant.
अच्छा बोलिए प्रभु रामचंद्र की जय. My dear friends, let us all join in prayer. In whichever way you recognize the Supreme, let us all join in prayer. Jagato Durama Deity, Dadu Sukta State, Detai Vaiti, Jyotisham Jyoti Rekam Tanme Mana Shiva Sankalpamastu. Our Reverend Pandit and all blessed souls, today we have gathered here to pay our last respect. And the last time I was here, I had given a little story about the train of life. My life is like a journey on a train, with its stations, with changes of routes, and with accidents. At birth, we boarded the train and met our parents. But we believe they will always travel on our side. However, at some time and some station, our parents will step down from the train, leaving us on this journey alone. And as time goes on, other people will board the train who will be significant to us. It would be our friends, siblings, and children, and even the love of our life. Many will step down and leave a permanent vacuum. Others will go unnoticed. They don't realize that they vacated their seats, which is very sad when you think of it. My friends, this train ride will be full of joy, sorrow, fantasy, expectations, hellos, goodbye, and farewells. Success, therefore, consists of having a good relationship with the passengers. requiring that we give the best of ourselves. The mystery to everyone is unknown. We do not know at which station we ourselves will step down. Therefore, we must to live the best way. But how? That is with love, forgiveness, and to offer other best of ourselves. Because when the time comes for us to step down and leave our seat vacant, we should leave behind beautiful memories for those who will continue to travel on the train of life. My dear friends, I wish you a joyful journey this year on the life of Him. Reap success, give lots of love, and more importantly, thanks for the journey. And lastly, I thank you for being one of the passengers in this train. And my friends, many of you would know this song. It goes like this. Hai apna dil duara na jaane koi. All right. Okay. My friends, I don't want to really be too long, but I would like to extend my sentiments in a few songs. And firstly, I would say, मेरे सामने वाले खिड़की है एक चांद के टुकड़ा रहता है. Friends, many of you would like to know what Mr. Sono was telling Movina. He was saying to her, on the other side of the road, there is a piece of the moon. But what happens? टूट गई है माला मोती बिखर चले दो दिन रहे कर साथ जाने किधर चले. Friends, the necklace is broken and the pearls are all scattered. We have lived together as a family for a couple of days, and now that one of our loved has finally passed on, we don't know where they have gone. Why? Because say, दुनिया से जाने वाले जाने चले जाते ये कहाँ. Because we don't know which side they have gone to. And again, a very popular song. राहे मनवा दुखते चिंता क्यों कसाते है दुख तो अपना साथी है. Oh man, why do we worry about sorrows? As in this case, for sorrow is our friend. Happiness is but a lifeless shadow. It comes and goes, and only sorrow is our true companion. And again, it says in one final song, दुनिया बनाने वाले क्या तेरे मन में समाए काहे को दुनिया बनाए काहे को दुनिया बनाए. O creator of this world, why did you create this world? What purpose motivated you to design this world? And What was uppermost in your mind when you created this world? What did you seek to obtain? And again, one more. Jyoti janam gavaya sadhu, Jyoti janam gavaya. Scripture describes that our whole world would go to waste if we for one moment did not made an attempt to recognize the Lord. And in another line it says, Jyoti bandhanam, Jyoti kaya, Jyoti yaha kaya. In this unreal universe, relationship, family, friends are not lasting. Even our breath is temporary. What to say of this body, my dear friends? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
This man, I forced him to sing a song. Huh? You tell me you're going to sing, you're going to say a few words. Anyway, he's one of the reverend. So what? Yes, that's fine. We have, I'm not sure if it's Sono's favorite child. Oh, so I know, ask Anissa too.
Sitaram, everyone. I am Anissa, the second daughter of my dad, Lalla Bissram, whose life we celebrate today. My father, Lalla Bissram, also known as, and it have a list, Rango, Sono, Freddy, and even Mole Nose is one of them. He was born in the village of Sangre Chiquito as a playful baby who began life challenges at his first breath. My father, however, was blessed to be raised by Nanny Cooks after his mother passed away at a very, very young age, leaving 7 very young children, all of whom nurtured each other. Daddy, being the only boy child, had special nurturing by his 6 sisters, which we all know he was grateful for. That bond they have will never be broken, even though God chose to separate them. My father was not only mine, but I should say our mentor, biggest fan, #1 supporter. I am certain that his daily calls and checkups will be missed, along with hugs, kisses, words of encouragement, and positivity. Daddy attended the Plum Mitan Presbyterian School, as humble as he has always been, no shoes, in fact, barefooted, no book bag. But I could imagine how happy he still was beating that road, excited to play his favorite game of marble pitch. We learned recently that he might have even danced a little, which reflects the absolute joy he had for life. Moving on through the timeline of Daddy's life, he attended trade school in Sawa, where he stayed by Uncle Gitchi, and Sangre Chiquito, where he stayed by Uncle Mikey and Auntie Golly to learn mechanic. As a young man, he was ready to use his charm to find a woman who was going to encourage and love him more than life itself. Who knows, Daddy will attest to him saying so far, so good. And boy, the distance he came back to find my mother He fell in love with a neighbor's daughter in Plum Mitan, and the beginning of a beautiful lifetime love story began. He was employed in the Ministry of Works Drainage Department with the help of the late Nandlal Christopher. From then, Nandini, my big sister here, myself, the late Reto, and Kumar were privileged and blessed to have him as our father. Because of the unconditional love my father showed his family, it breaks my heart to see you leave so soon, because I would have loved for your 3 grandsons to have their nanas, hugs, kisses, and of course, life lessons taught to them, the way you taught us. You loved your grandsons to eternity. Daddy, honestly, I wish you can open your eyes again, because each of us need you so much. We would give anything to eat that soft paratha roti again, to get and someone to rub that sprained ankle or tummy ache. To have someone to run to with our problems, knowing you always had a solution to carry us, and a positive solution. We would miss you carrying us to the beach at 6 a.m. to go and jog on the beach because it's healthy. To book last-minute trips to Caribbean countries and beach houses just because you believed in living a happy and peaceful life. I'm proud to say that the hurdles Daddy faced created a man everyone could look up to. The death of Reto, the late Reto, our sister, left us all in shambles. And when we thought we could never make it through, Daddy taught us patience, love, forgiveness, prayer, put God first, believe in God's plan, trust God, run to God, depend on God. Your last breaths were the name of the Lord. In all of this, you could have never prepared us for all this to live without you. That was the only thing we were never ready to learn. The most devastating thing happened in August when Daddy began feeling sick. The man who drove every family on this hill around, being the first to own a car, a Chamont, was now being driven to and from his destination, something that he was not accustomed to. The look on his face, despite being confused at times, will always remind us of how strong he was in moments of uncertainty. And that is what the meaning of faith is. On his journey to and from his treatment, he was enthusiastic to get over the obstacle rather than worry about it, because remember, so far, so good. I want everyone to know that my father loved everyone he was around unconditionally. I have never met anyone who did not say they did not love him. If he had wronged anyone, please forgive him. His duties towards Aja when he was alive were fulfilled, and I am sure they are both looking down on us. Reto finally gets to meet him again. His mother meets her son. We are happy for them, but our loss is great. The king of our family leaves us today with broken hearts and tears running down our faces, something he never did when he was alive. We love you, Dad. You will be in our hearts forever. May you rest in eternal peace. I know you are in the arms of Lord Krishna now. Daddy, until we meet again, Om Saragati.
Thank you. Should I take out the mic for me before you finish? We're doing well. brothers and sisters, as many of you here would have difference in understanding what is death. In Sanatana Dharma Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna in Kurukshetra was telling Arjuna, and they were talking about Arjuna had doubts about certain things and fighting and who's on the other side. And Lord Krishna says, "O Arjuna, there never was a time when you nor I nor all those gathered here never existed, and there shall never be a time when we shall cease to exist." That in a nutshell is what life is about. Whether it's a human being, whether it's a tattoo, whether it's a manicure that somebody wanted to catch a couple of nights ago. Luckily the pandit was with him, and those two manicures saved. But the thing about it is, whatever life form it is, we are all connected. That's what makes Sanatana Dharma stand out. We are all connected with everything else. And the last slok in Garud Puran, chapter 16, tell you other life forms transmigrate. They die and they're born again into something else, and like that they go and come. We say Avagana, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. Like that we go until by the grace of God we become human being. But if you're a human being and you die and there's a possibility you'll come as a human being again, you don't transmigrate. You have a jury. You have a bag with pap and punya, good deeds and bad deeds. We have a name Chitragupt. But we have been programmed to think that if I do this, God watching me, and if I do that, God watching me. It doesn't fit. That doesn't fit into Sanatana Dharma. Rest in peace, that doesn't fit into Sanatana Dharma. You drop this body, so what we say die, you drop this body, certain things will happen, certain time will pass, and you will take another body. And that is the sequence of Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maran. It's a sequence. So we are going to know better place and know waiting to go in some heaven and sit down in some throne. It's not like that. Our own karmas. In his hands today we put two pinda. We didn't know what kind of bag to make, whether we're going to put kaskadu or what we're going to put in it, okay? But we put pindas, because the pindas will disappear by the time the body comes to ashes. It will disappear. And his own karmas will go with him. What you do, and sometimes we think, if we want to justify something, we think, well, okay, in your next life you go pay for that. It's not like next life. This here, you're paying for everything right here. Okay? So don't hope that some father come with Chitra, who's going to come with a list and tick off what you did and what you didn't do. If you complete your life, then you have nothing to do. Then what happens? If you did not complete your life, then you will come back to complete it. See, life is a strange thing. We leave God as that life force, as that soul, Atma, whatever you want to call it, and we take different births and we come again. Okay? You come here, what happens here is you decide that. Nobody in deciding that. No nearby tree, no funeral thing in your yard for you to decide that. You're going to decide that for yourself. So eternal rest in peace. If he rests in peace, then he forget he's going to see about earlier. Then he pickpocks come here taken on earlier because he rested in peace here and to see about. But because he will go when this journey stops, you will have Shrad, you'll have Shivan ceremony, you'll have Bandara, and then it travels, and then you'll have the 1 year Bandara, or if circumstances permit, you do it before that. After that 1 year Bandara, it will enter into Pitralok. When the life left the body, the family who was waiting for him in the nursing home without a car took him, and the soul got an escorted tour of the lower and the upper lokas. Then it came back to the house of attachment. So when this deer was lit, it was like a like a guiding light for the soul at this house of attachment. And the soul will remain here, and then it will follow the family to go to the water side, where they will do the Desgat, the Shivan ceremony. Come back here again until we do the Gita part to bid farewell to the soul. So there is no way death in other language or in other religion means end, punto final. But it is not in Sanatana Dharma. It's just a transition from one to the other, as its own karmas will take it. So sometimes we hoping that, okay, we will meet again. Where is sir? If you see him again, you wouldn't know it is him. Believe me, you will not know it is him. But what does it matter? Because after attempted to give a little joke, when the wife died and she see Rango, Lyman, she run up and hug him up. Say, what you hug him up for? Say, well, when we get married was until death do us part. We die already. That not there anymore. But as an English joke, so don't take on that. But until death do us part. But the thing about it is that so sal pehle. You see how you confuse my mind? Eh? So for 7 lifetimes, janama ki saath hai, we're not getting into that. It is about life and death. He came here, all of us. I was very fortunate to meet him where? In the middle of Bush Game Sanctuary, together with the whole side. Roy and Alan and Left Hand and Chur and everybody. That's why I met him in the middle, in Ban, in the forest. And I was so privileged to know him. And I had a little red car. The first weekend, he and Alan come by me to spend the weekend. They tell me that they have some family in Macbean, you know. Really? I supposed to know the people in Macbean. So Saturday morning, we go down Calcutta and Macbean. We go by, well, he will say Nana, I say Naja. We go on by Dhoom, by Pandit Farah. So, oh, this come your family. And there we had this big connection. Then we realized his Nana is my Aja. And everybody know my father, little brothers in Plum Mitan. But I had to go and meet him, this man when I in the forest, in the middle of the forest. But the thing about it was also my blessing to know him in this lifetime. I could have lived my life and never even meet him. Okay? But the thing about it is only by your good karmas you get to encounter certain people and certain things and certain experiences in this lifetime. So, death is just a transition. It's not a full stop or final full stop. Okay? It's just a little punctuation mark where we move on. If it was the end of it, we'd go down Kaltu and throw him in the drain somewhere there. But because something else happens, okay, the matter, the prakriti, the 5 elements, no matter how powerful an army is, they cannot destroy that. You can destroy the body, but the ingredients that make up the body, you cannot destroy it. Science cannot destroy it, no matter what they do. And that's why we dispose of it in water, and then it goes around and gets into the whole cycle of this cosmos. The air mixes with everything else. Science tells you if a butterfly flaps its wings here in Plum Mitan, it affects the wind flow in Japan. Because everything is one, it is connected. Water is connected, air is connected, everything is connected. Prakriti is connected. So our understanding of that is entirely different. Now, in European countries, they would take your ashes from the crematorium, get it in a container, mix everything in it, and plant a tree in it, or plant anything. So we use nature to dispose of the elements. Science now is managing that nature to use it for a good source. Okay? So that is definitely something much more than we can fathom. Okay? My father used to say, you see, when I live in, give me what I wanted. See, because dead horse don't eat grass. But he lived long enough for me to sit down and for he and I to sit down and talk, so that we could understand we don't have dead horses. The horse change body and goes somewhere else. So we don't have dead horses. Bole Siyapati Ramachandra ki jai. We have somebody from the school.
We now call Ramesh to say a few words.
Sitaram, Assalamu alaikum, and a good morning to each and one here. This morning, we come to say goodbye to a friend, a family member, a brother, a uncle, a neighbor, a good person. I was here recently, about 3 days ago, in the neighborhood here to do some work. And the minute I came out from the car, and the minute I came out from the car, I went to the neighbor's house there. And the first thing he said to me, Ram, how are you going? I said, good. He said, Uncle Son, are you doing good, you know? He just took him to the hospital yesterday or this morning. I came across at his sister's house and was the same sentiment echoed. I walked down the street here and everybody in the street said something good, something positive, and something that is true that depicts this individual that is lying here today. And to surround it all and to top it up, he was a people's person. He was a people's person. He lived a life of goodness and greatness, a humble, kind, compassionate, and loving life in this neighborhood here. I have known him all my life because he's a bit older than me. I knew him in the village, then we became so close at the temple, at the Plum Mitan temple, where he was a devotee there, an ardent devotee of the Lord. And not only him, but he brought his family together. And a family that prays together will stay together regardless of the weather and circumstance. This morning, as we say goodbye, I have many great things to say about this individual. A very humble person. Very, very humble. And he spoke the truth. He adhered to truth. He lived a dharmic life. He attends his place of worship, as many of us should do. Not only when we get in we get older, but whenever we get the opportunity, whether you're a Christian, you're a Muslim, or a Hindu, find your place of refuge at the feet of the Lord in whatever form. And he did that. Ahimsa, non-violent life. He lived that life. You never hear Uncle Rango have a confrontation with anybody. He never had that. He lived a very nice life. To me, he was like a brother to me. Because when I always speak to him, positivity. And that is what we should adhere in our life. He was a good example. And when there is a good example, we must take a sample of that example. Take a sample of this good example. Put it in your life and practice it. Let it manifest in your life and see what a transformation of a good human being you will be. And every time he will talk something good, and he will always talk about Makbeem and Panditji there and all his sisters. Because he was the Dular boy now. He was the Dular boy because of so many sisters and the only boy. He was the prince. He was the prince. And I know his father. I didn't know his mother, but I know Auntie Cooks, who nurtured, nourished, and lead them with moral and spiritual value that today, what can we say about Uncle Rangu? Watch the multitude of people here. It says it all. The life that he lived, it says it all. You want to come and say goodbye and give your blessings to him. And then as Anissa said, was a father figure, not only to his children, but all those around. He was a good individual. And let us take a page of that. Let us take a page of that and put it in our life, regardless of what. Regardless of what, put it in your life. Because he stands for goodness, he stands for truth, he lived a dynamic life, and he lived a loving life. A loving life that all that he touched enjoyed his company. All that he touched and he came into contact with, it was infused with that love. Isn't that true? Today I want to urge you, as a member of the temple, please live a good life. Live an honest life. Live a pure life. Because at the end of the day, we want to leave this world not bitter and depressed and sad, but smiling. And we are sure and assured that we will find a place at the lotus-like feet of God. I want to thank you, Panditji, and this family for giving me the opportunity to say a few words that I spoke from my heart. And may Bhagavan Sri Krishna bless his soul and may he find eternal rest. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ji. The fowl wishing goodbye or say, oh, let's go pick up the eggs. Alan, where? Who will water the plants now? Who will water the plants? I just assigning duties. Only assigning duties. I'd like you all to join with me as we sing. As we justify what we put in his hands. बांध के घतरिया रामा, बांध के घतरिया, बांध के घतरिया रामा, बांध के घतरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन बांध के घतरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन बांध के घतरिया, बांध के घतरिया रामा, बांध के घतरिया, बांध के घतरिया रामा, बांध के घतरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन बांध के घतरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन। जब यमराज पलंग पर बैठी हूँ, जब यमराज पलंग पर बैठी हूँ, उड़त गए दोनों नैन पथरिया, उड़त गए दोनों नैन पथरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन बांध के घतरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन। मारे सूता प्राण निकाले हो, मारे सूता प्राण लुकाए हो, प्राण लुकाए कोठरिया कोठरिया, प्राण लुकाए कोठरिया कोठरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन बांध के घतरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन। चार पहर मिले काट उठावे हो, चार पहर मिले काट उठावे हो, फूक दिया जैसे बन के लकड़िया, फूक दिया जैसे बन के लकड़िया, कोई न ले जाए धन बांध की घत, कोई न ले जाए धन। कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधु हो, कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधु हो, छूट गए सब मैल उतरिया, छूट गए सब मैल उतरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन बांध के घतरिया, कोई न ले जाए धन बांध के घत।
We would now take this time to invite Esther Joseph to say a few words.
pleasant morning to all. Today, as we celebrate the life of, well, I will call him Freddie or Fredo. All right, I have a few words that I would like to say on behalf of my parents who, unfortunately, are not able to be here this morning. All right, yesterday he called and he said, well, Ina, I have a few words. You had to go and say something for me this morning, you know. So I said, all right, no problem. He called again this morning. Where you girl? I said, well, I'm organizing. He was like, so you ain't going yet? I said, okay, I go in. He said, remember to read exactly what I wrote. So this is why I have this paper with me. I promise it's not lengthy. Fred, this is from your boy Kai and his wife Prem. What is the essential ingredients of a good life? Goodness itself. The secret of a good life is right here, before our eyes. If you wish to live this good life, fill your life with love, goodness, gratitude, compassion, and generosity. And when we reflect on even the words that Ramesh said, and even from what we heard from the eulogy, we know that these are just a few of the positive words that would have come out from Fredo, all right, when he's speaking to us. All right, goodness, generosity, compassion, all right. So he going to say, we did not call you a friend, but a brother, because that's what you are to us. We had many good times together, and we thank God for these times. And when we talk about good times, we would like to reflect on the Grand River trip, the Toko trip, all right, making cook with all the co-workers and all of them. I could talk about it because I was fortunate to be a part of it too as well, all right, when we would play cards together. And of course, of recent, the stroll along Manzanella Beach. Of course, Fred, Move, Mommy and Papi, all right? He would pick them up in the morning and they would go take their drive on the Manzan Beach. So I know for sure that they won't miss that. So, my boyfriend, on behalf of the entire family, your friend Kai, your girl Prem, we want to say farewell to you. We know that you have lived a really, really good life. All right, the fact that we could stand here and speak about you, it says something. And may your soul, I was going to say rest in peace, but I will listen to what the Baba say. All right. May your soul, the journey that it has departed onto, may it continue to travel, all right, find positive grounds, and may you continue to impact the lives of the people that you will encounter on this other journey. Do have a pleasant day, everyone.
Thank you very much. You know, when election time come in, this road would be smooth as anything else. So smooth that we'll run off around the corners. And when somebody die, people would come and they give you polished statements. From what I heard and what I know of the deceased, it has not been polished. It is the reality. We have somebody else?
We call it now on Shafiq Mohammed.
Present good morning to each and everyone, and condolences to the family. Well, I have known this gentleman, well, I wouldn't say for too long, because only about 30 years ago I returned to this village to live. Not this village, but the other village on beach. And during that short period is then I've got to know him. And after knowing him for this long, I can say I learned a lot of things about him. Know him first and foremost, he's a very approachable fella. You can speak to him wherever you want, whenever you want. We meet him at all occasions. We meet him in a week, in cricket field, in funeral, in functions, anywhere you go, most likely you'll see him. He like Wednesday, everything he does be in. You know, everything he be in. And the nice thing about it, you can relate to him wherever you meet him. And in his relationship, you never hear anything like out of time in talking. We always talk something positive. And for this cause, we could say that he was a very, very good person. And we can emulate him after knowing him, and then we can follow his ways, because he has gotten so many friends, and he has left so many marks in this world that we all can follow. And with these few words, I hope and pray that his journey towards eternity, may he rest in peace, and may God Almighty forgive him for whatever mistakes he may have made while on this earth. Remember, this life journey continues until eternity. So one day, hopefully, we all will meet again on the other side of life. And may God continue to bless him. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much. You have more than 40 years. So if you didn't know him before that, it means you didn't start with Kasaru. I just joke. I guess most of you would have been to a funeral before. Any of you never been to a funeral before? The energy in a funeral is different. Energy in wedding is different. Manzan lime is different. But he came in this premises. So at this point in time, the energy was never that of a dead person lying in a coffin. Never. And there are many contributing factors which I wouldn't go into. I'm not qualified to go into that. But at this point, those of you who are strong enough to stand, I would ask you to stand. The rest of you, feel free to sit. When you have a court matter, no matter what type of court matter, and one party die, that's the end of it. It's dead. There's no more pursuing of certain things when somebody died. And here the head of this home had fulfilled all his duties, and he decided, okay, it's time to go home, O Lord Shiva, it's time to go home. No matter what you think, it's time to go home. So if he had transgressed on the rights of any one of you, if he had offended any of you, at this point we let go that bandhan. Okay, don't bind the soul with that. Let it be free to move as where its own karmas will take it to. Together. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Brahma Murari Surachita Lingam Nirmala Bhakshita Shobhita Lingam Janma Jaduka Vinashana Lingam Tat Pranamami Sadashiva Lingam Tat Pranamami Devamuni Pravarchita Lingam Kamadaham Karunakaranlingam Ravanadharapa Vinashanalingam Tata Pranamami Sadashivalingam Tata Pranamami Sadas Om Namah Shivaya Hari Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Hari Om Sarvasugandhi Sulepitalingam Buddhi Vivardhana Karanalingam Siddha Surasura Vanditalingam Tata Pranamami Sadashivalingam Tata Pranamami Kanaka Mahamani Bhokchitalingam Panipati Veshtita Shobhitalingam Dakshasuyagya Vinashanalingam Tat Pranamami Sadashivalingam Tat Pranamami Sadashivalingam. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Kuma Chandana Lepitalingam Pankajahara Sushobhitalingam Sanchita Papa Vinashanalingam Tata Pranamami Sadashivalingam Tata Pranamami Devaganarchita Sevitalingam Bhavabhaya Bhakti Bharevachalingam Dinakara Koti Prabhakaralingam Tata Pranamami Sadashivalingam Tata Pranamami Sadashivalingam. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Ashtadalo Pariveshtitalingam Sarva Samudabhava Karanalingam Ashtadarendra Vinashanalingam Tata Pranamami Sadashivalingam Tata Pranamami Sadashivalingam. Suraguru Suravara Pujitalingam Suravana Pushpa Sadachhitalingam Parata Parama Paramatma Kalingam Tata Pranamami Sadashivalingam Tata Pranamami Sadashivalingam. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Hari Om Namah Shivaya. Keep your hands, please remain standing, put your hands together as we conclude. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva Tvameva Bandhu Chasakha Tvameva Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva. Om Dhyau Shanti 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 Abha Shanti Oshade Shanti Vanaspate Shanti Vishwadiva Shanti 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 Reva Shanti Sama Shanti Redhi. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. That's it. Offer your flowers. We have some more flowers that you will. And those of you, after we offer the flowers, those of you who would like to have a final look, you come where I am and you go in to my left and go around and go back to your seats.
आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन का मेला Oh में नहीं कोई अपना। ये जिंदगी है प्यारी एक झूठ सपना, गैरों की दुनिया में नहीं कोई अपना। सबके रहते हुए मैं हूँ अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। आए भी अकेला जाए भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला। 2 दिन की जिंदगी है 2 दिन का मेला।
एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, इकता कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। खूब मौज कर देख तमाशा, खूब मौज कर देख तमाशा, खेलने को खेला, करनी है तो कर ले रे बंदे, करनी है तो कर ले रे बंदे, फिर नहीं आना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। कौरी कौरी करके जोरी, कौरी कौरी करके जोरी, भरा खजाना है। जंगल जाएगा बंदे रे, जंगल जाएगा बंदे रे, फिर पछताना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है। जग चला जाता है सारा, जग चला जाता है सारा, इकता कौन ठिकाना है। एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है, एक दिन हमें भी जाना है।
पिंजरे के पंछी रे, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। बाहर से तो खामोश रहे तू, बाहर से तो खामोश रहे तू, भीतर भीतर रोए रे, भीतर भीतर रोए, तेरा दर्द न जाने को। कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे। कह न सके तू अपनी कहानी, तेरी भी पंछी क्या जिंदगानी रे। विधि ने तेरी कथा लिखी, आंसू में कलम डुबोए, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने को। चुपके रोने वाले, रखना छिपा के दिल के छाले रे। चुपके रोने वाले, रखना छिपा के दिल के छाले रे। ये पत्थर का देश है पगले, कोई न तेरा होए, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई। पिंजरे के पंछी रे, तेरा दर्द न जाने कोई, तेरा दर्द न जाने को। पिंजरे के पंछी रे,
लौट के आजा मेरे मीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। हाँ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। मेरा सुना पड़ा रे संगीत, मेरा सुना पड़ा रे संगीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। हाँ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत। तूने भली रे निभाई प्रीत, तूने भली रे निभाई प्रीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। गीत बुलाते हैं। आ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। मेरा सुना पड़ा रे संगीत, मेरा सुना पड़ा रे संगीत, तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं। आ लौट के आजा मेरे मीत। तुझे मेरे गीत बुलाते हैं।